what's funny? That the moment you start setting boundaries is exactly when people start acting like you have changed. One of the first things that I noticed after setting boundaries was how shocked people became when they couldn't reach me anytime they wanted. Before now, I was always available for calls, for texts, for favors, for emotional support, for that last minute help. I always made myself available because I didn't want people to feel disappointed in me. But eventually, I realized that constant accessibility was draining me. I was giving everybody access to my time, my energy, my effort, my rest, and my attention, while barely leaving anything for myself. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aduke, and on this page we talk about literally everything: life changes, boundaries, life transitioning, career growth, immigration, just name it. But today we are talking about something that hits deeply, and I feel like a lot of people actually go through this particular one very much often than not. So what did I do? I started protecting my space more. Sometimes I don't answer that phone immediately. Sometimes I need the quietness. Sometimes I don't even have that emotional energy for conversations that were going to drain me. And honestly, people that used to have unlimited access to me started to notice that shift, and they became very uncomfortable about it. Because when people are used to convenience, boundaries becomes rejections to them. Another thing that I noticed is the moment you stop overextending yourself, people would be like, you have changed. But sometimes, yes, I actually have changed. Because growth does change you. I stopped apologizing for everything. I stopped explaining my reason for saying no. I stopped being overly accessible. Stopped forcing myself to be endlessly understanding for people at my own expense. And some people interpreted that as an attitude, but I realized something very important. The old version of me was easier to access, but not necessarily happier. I remember I did something a couple of years ago, and what I did was I stopped being the first person to reach out to people. If you know me, you would know that I am that person that would always reach out whenever I think about you. I can think about you 3 times in a week, and I'll call you 3 times in a week. I am that girl. I would reach out, I would send a message, I would follow up on things that we've previously discussed. And that was actually how I was. But the moment I took a step back, some people did not notice. Do you know why? Because they were used to speaking to me, and they were used to me making the first move as an adult. But for some people, they did notice, and they called my attention to it. And I told them, literally, I have been the one reaching out first in this relationship, in this friendship, in this hour, whatever we call it. And I don't want to be in that situation anymore because it is exhausting. And then it becomes really draining. For some people that noticed this pushback from me, they reached out to me to talk about what had happened, if there was something that was going on. And I told them, I said, look, I'm just choosing myself, and I'm deciding who I spend my own time and energy on. And the other people that did not notice, eventually when we had a conversation, maybe months and couple of years after, and we were randomly having that conversation, and I said, this was actually what made me pull back from you, because I felt like you were draining me emotionally. And guess what this person told me? Did I ask you? That question is one of those things that would always ring a bell in my head. Because for real, did they really ask me for the unsolicited advice, for the time and the energy that I have expended on them? Did they ask me to be emotionally available for them? If it wasn't convenient for me, I could have told them no, but I didn't. And even though that favored them, it didn't favor me because it came at my own expense. I was sabotaging my own happiness just to make other people feel better about themselves, just to give emotional support to them. And I had to determine what version is better for me, to be emotionally available for everybody or to be happier within myself. Number 3, my relationship started shifting. Setting boundaries reveals relationship dynamics because healthy people usually adjust, they respect your limits, they communicate, they don't punish you for protecting yourself. But unhealthy dynamics, those become very obvious. Some relationships became awkward because I stopped tolerating certain behaviors. Some people became distant because I stopped carrying the relationship emotionally. And honestly, that part really hurt. Because nobody really talks about how lonely growth can feel sometimes. But of course, if that is a price that you have to pay for choosing yourself and setting healthy boundaries amongst your friendship or relationship or people around you, then I would rather choose that over being lonely unnecessarily, because people that are going to waste your time, they don't have anything to do with their own time. So they would help you to waste that time that you should be using to be productive for other things. That's the same time they are going to be wasting for you. And then you start to realize that some friendships were only functioning and thriving because you were overcompensating. But even though some relationship changed, something else changed too. I started respecting myself more. Because every time you honor boundaries, you send a message to yourself that my feelings matter as well. And that particular one changes your confidence quietly. It changes how you see things. It changes how you relate with people. It changes on the kind of expectations you have of people. You stop abandoning yourself just to keep other people comfortable. You stop feeling guilty for needing rest, for saying no, for protecting your space. And honestly, a lot of us are exhausted because we have spent years prioritizing every other person's comfort over our own well-being. I think people misunderstand boundaries. Boundaries are not about controlling people. They are simply about deciding what you will allow, what you will tolerate, and what you will continue participating in. And honestly, some people call boundaries mean because they benefited from the version of you that lacked that boundaries. And that realization changed everything for me. Finally, setting boundaries actually changed how people treated me. But most importantly, it changed how I treated myself. I think that is actually the part that matters the most, because the most important people will adjust. The people that really care about you, they will adjust. And the right people will respect your timelines. They will respect your limits. And the right relationships will not require you to abandon yourself. Let me know in the comment section what you think. What boundaries changed you the most? Don't forget to drop a comment, share this particular video, and subscribe if you want to keep watching videos like this from me. And I'm gonna see you next time. Bye bye.